Has CAP 1789 and the ESA directives killed the PfCO commercial license?
Geeksvana is your drone channel, providing news, reviews, flights, interviews, and much more.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Geeksvana. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and to find out the latest drone news first and fast, hit the notification bell. Welcome to the latest in our video series on the new EU drone laws, scheduled to come into force across Europe and the UK in July 2020, with a grace period for implementation beyond that. I have placed a link in the description to our EU drone laws playlist, so take a look. Remember, even with Brexit round the corner, it is fully expected that the UK will remain a member of ESA and therefore will adopt the regulations in full. One area of the drone rules we haven't covered yet is the commercial pilot side of things, the PfCO as it's known here in the UK. In the CAA's CAP 1789, a document of guidance regarding the EU directives, they state that the regulations are intended to follow some basic concepts. The one which is of interest today is titled Operation Centric. It states the focus is on the type of operation being conducted, rather than who or what is conducting it or why it is being done. So this means that technically under the new regulations, a drone operator who is flying in the open category will be able to do so as a paid operation without a PfCO. However, the new regulations clearly discuss the need for insurance, and it is unlikely an insurance would be granted to an unqualified pilot for a reasonable fee. But does this mean an end to the PfCO qualification in the UK? No. There are still two other categories of operation, specific and certified, which will require permissions and some form of qualification. This is unlikely to take the form of the existing PfCO, but you should expect existing qualified pilots to somehow be grandfathered into the new system. Now, we like experts in the field, and Matt Williams of Fly Icarus is certainly an expert. He is a former Royal Air Force helicopter instructor who now runs a drone training company. Here is a clip from one of his videos on this subject.
CAP 1789 is out. I implore you to take a look at it. It doesn't fundamentally affect anything until, as I say, at the earliest, the 1st of July 2020. So we've got about a year to wait until things change. And actually, we've got at least 6 months. The CAA said it would be probably at the earliest November 2019 before we even find out what their proposed new framework is going to be in terms of licensing or permissions, or what the PfCO will look like, what it will be called. All we can say is at the moment that people, and this is directly from the CAA, people who have a PfCO will be well placed moving forwards, because that will be grandfathered over to give you better permissions than you would get under the open category. And yes, if you've looked through the CAP 1789 already, there is the potential in certain circumstances for you to operate a drone in the open category when the regulations change for commercial gain, because that's one of the big things the changes get rid of, is this definition or the delineation that we have at the moment between commercial and non-commercial usage of drones, and that's why you would need a PfCO. It kind of gets rid of that and says, well, actually, you can operate commercially if there's a low risk. Everything becomes risk-centric and operation-centric. However, when you then break it down, what it actually looks like is that to operate a drone in a useful environment for a commercial application, you would need to be in one of the other categories, which will require an element of training and certification. One of the big things, though, that everybody seems to be glossing over is that, yes, although the new regulations allow you to technically operate a drone for commercial gain without the requirement for a permission or a license in certain circumstances, what you still require under EC 785/2004 is insurance for a commercial air operation, which is what these drone operations will still be classed as. So, in order to get insurance, you will currently, as is the way, and having spoken to some of the major insurance providers, you will still need to do an element of training to be able to get commercial insurance.
To watch Matt's video in full and check out what else he has to say, visit his YouTube channel. The link is in the description. We'd like to thank Matt for allowing us to use his video, which we decided to do because he has an excellent way of getting the essential information across quickly and clearly. So, is the PfCO dead? Well, yes and no. Yes, there will be a new format of qualification coming in, but it is still the current requirement for commercial flights and is expected to be grandfathered in to any new system. Also, as Matt points out, other commercial issues such as the requirement for insurance will mean we're unlikely to see a swathe of hobbyist drone pilots suddenly turning their hand to real estate photography or wedding shoots. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to watch more drone news and tech related content.
Please remember to like and subscribe.